So today we are going to be talking about primers. Now, most of the time you see videos on primers for oily skin, primers for dry skin. I have combo skin. So I am about to show you exactly what I do and the way I use them to get the perfect flawless foundation finish. So guys, if that interests you, just keep watching. How are my Glow Tarts doing today? Hope everybody's well, and for those of you that are new, my name is Mandy and welcome to the video. So I have brought in a few of my primers, some good, some not so good. First of all, let me tell you about my skin. It is combo skin. It gets very oily throughout the day, right in my T-zone area. The other spots like my cheeks and everything else is dry. So if your skin is like that, you most likely have combination skin. So I find it a lot harder for people with combination skin to prime their face. Hydrating primers, and they make mattifying primers. So I'm about to show you the way that I do it to get that soft focus, flawless finish. Now, a primer is just a base for your foundation. You always want to use your primers. Well, let's say this. Okay, here's the list. You wash your face first. Then you use your serums, if you do use those. Me, I use a toner. Use your lotion. Then comes your primer. Now, your primer is going to go on right before your foundation. The way my makeup routine goes is after I wash my face, the serum, the lotion, then primer, then I always color correct, and then my foundation. But you could totally skip the color correction part. So if you don't color correct, you would just go from primer to foundation. A lot of people don't believe in primers. Me, for one, I used to never believe in them. I was like, oh, it's just another gimmick. It is something to make the consumer spend more money on some more makeup products. I started using it and I started noticing a difference. Now, what the primer is going to do, it is going to extend the wear time of your foundation. Another thing that primers do is they'll smooth out the fine lines, the wrinkles, and my worst problem, pores. Some of them will make your pores just disappear, like you don't have pores. It's going to give you this flawless complexion. It's just going to make you look so airbrushed. There are many different types of primers. Now, you could get a hydrating primer, you could get a mattifying primer, and there's also some with a little color tint. If you do have discoloration in your face, age spots, dark spots, all that good stuff. Now, if your skin is mostly dry, you are going to want a hydrating primer. And now, for people with more oily skin types, you are going to want the mattifying primer. Some of them will have silicone in them, and it just feels so velvety and soft, and those are the mattifying primers. A little tip would be to use a foundation that has the same base as the primer that you're using. That also helps with a more flawless finish. If you are using a primer with some silicone in it, some of that can interact poorly with the foundation that you're using, so you might want to watch out for that. And the best thing to do is just test out your primers. I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite primers, then I'm going to show you how I put them on. So first of all, every time I wear makeup, I use two primers just because I am combo skin. Now, I will take a hydrating primer and I'll also take a mattifying primer. The only reason that I use a mattifying primer is because my pores and in my T-zone, like I said, gets very oily throughout the day. So what I'll do is I will take my mattifying primer and I will dab it onto the T-zone because that is where my oil comes from. That is the oily part of my face is my T-zone. But when I'm using a mattifying primer, it is best to dab that in. If you get oily under your eyes, if you want to use it for that, it is best to use your ring finger because that has the most gentle touch. After I do that, after I dab the mattifying primer onto my pore-prone areas and my oily spots, then I will take my beauty blender and just make sure it is very nicely blended out. And then what I do is I will take a hydrating primer for the rest of my face. I'm about to show you a few primers that work best for me. Now, this is a trick I love to do. I love to take my mattifying primer and just dab that on my lips. When my lips are really dry, you wouldn't believe what a difference you see. But I actually found a well, it's not really considered a primer for your lips, but that is what I use that for. And you wouldn't believe this. I bought this at Rue 21. It was only a couple of dollars. It's the Rue Beauty Matte Lips Gel Mattifier. Now, what this does is you're supposed to dab some of this on your lips, on top of your lipstick, a luminous lipstick, a shiny lip gloss, or whatever, and this is supposed to mattify the color. I actually found it to be perfect for a lip primer. It smooths them out. It literally looks like a filter on my lips, and I love this stuff. So if you guys ever find yourself in Rue 21, or if you could find this online, it's only a couple of dollars. I would definitely get it and check it out. If you don't have that, just take one of your mattifying primers and just have it on your lips if they're dry. Like I said, you wouldn't believe the difference. I wouldn't lie to y'all. Now first, guys, and I know you're going to think I'm nuts, so be it. I have found a couple of products that I have been loving for primer. Now, one of them, I do have a video on it, and I will link it down below. This is the Gold Bond Ultimate Lotion. Now, guys, believe it or not, this works really good for a primer. At least on my skin, it does. And I have been using this a lot lately, so hate me for it. I don't care. I love this stuff for primer. The next one is actually the Pureheals. I got this in my Ipsy bag, so there might be quite a few of you out there that do have this if you got it in an Ipsy. This is the Pureheals Propolis 80 Cream. This is a hydrating, illuminating lotion, and I do use this for the rest of my face for my dry parts for a primer sometimes, and it's actually got a really beautiful finish. Now to get into the actual primers. One of my favorites is the Palladio Rice Primer, mattifying and perfecting. I don't know if they got different types of it or what, but I absolutely love this. Now, this is one that does have a color to it. It does have a skin tint in it. So when my face is really red from a breakout or anything like that, that is when I love to use this. Now, so this is the ones that I put on my pores, and it is perfect for pores. It just blurs them babies out, let me tell you. Another really good one, believe it or not, guys. I'm telling you, if I have said believe it or not in this video 20 times already, I will kiss your ass, because I know I have. I know I have. This only costs, I think, $2 or $3. This is the LA Colors Face Primer. Helps smooth skin and extends makeup wear. Now, this is a clear gel. It has no color to it, but it is mattifying. It doesn't, I don't remember what the box said. The ingredients are not on this, but I believe this is one with a little bit of silicone in it. This one, I find, does not make my foundations blotchy or funny or anything like that. Now, I could be wrong about the silicone part, but I could have swore that there was. That's why I wanted to test it, but I could be wrong about that. Now, the next one is the Wet n Wild Coverall Primer. What this one, it says it does is refines pores, fills in lines, brightens complexion, evens skin tone. So, not only is this a brightener, it is a mattifying primer. This also blurs out pores really well, and it does leave a little bit of a luminosity. So I don't know how they done it with this primer, but this is one of my absolute favorites because it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. This one is a white primer, so that is probably what brightens your skin. This one I cannot quit raving on. Now, one of my subscribers sent this because I have never tried it, so I do have to get a bigger bottle. It is Benefits the Pore Professional. Yeah, I know. I've never tried it, and y'all can't believe it. I can't believe it either. Here we are. I'm so glad she sent it to me because this is one of my favorite primers. Now, again, this does have a skin tint in it, and it's perfect for blurring out the pores and your oily areas. And I've got to get a bigger bottle of this, guys. I love this stuff so much, and it has got the best smell. Now, it's not an overpowering smell, so you're not going to smell it once you get it blended out, but it's just an amazing primer. The next one is the Smashbox, and again, this one is going to give you the best of both worlds. It is illuminating, and it also is mattifying. Photofinish Radiance Primer. Guys, I'm in love with this primer. I do. I absolutely love it. Now, this also has a skin tint to it, but this is more like on the bronzy side, so it is going to give you that glow. It's also mattifying at the same time, so this little guy has got a special place in my heart. Now, I'm just going to show you a couple of my illuminating primers because these are the only two that I seem to reach for just always, like really always. Now, the first one is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer. This one I absolutely love. It is very hydrating. So for my dry parts, I find this to be perfect. And this is also another white primer. So it is also going to brighten your skin. And this has been my favorite for years. Ever since they come out with this, I love it. This is the L'Oreal Lumi Magic Lumi Infusing Primer. Now this one is also a white primer, and it does have a little bit of shimmer in it, but that shimmer does go away, and it leaves you with a beautiful, beautiful glow. This I'm absolutely obsessed with. I've been obsessed with this since they come out with it. Now I'm going to show you a couple that don't really work for me. Now, one is the Lorac. Now, I had this on worse products, and I'm still trying to love this little guy, I'm telling you, because I love Lorac. And this is the Light Source 3-in-1 Illuminating Primer. This just makes my foundation go on so blotchy. I'm still trying to find something to do with it. I've tried to use it for a highlighter. That didn't work. But you could also mix this in your foundation, and I find that it don't work for me doing that either. And the next one is Covergirl True Blend Face Primer, and this is labeled for combo skin. This stuff is just like lotion to me, and it didn't really work. It was a little bit too watery, so I'm not exactly sure the deal on this one, but this one just, it don't work at all for me. That is it for this video, and I do hope it helped you out just a little bit with learning about different primers that you could use if you have combo skin. So if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel, become part of my Glow Tart family. We would love to have you. And I love you guys so, so much, and I will see you next video. Bye, guys.